Hey everybody, Karthik Subramaniam over at ADHI Schools. Wanted to just share a couple of things with you as it relates to COVID-19 and the kind of the state of the real estate market at this point in time and kind of what's going on with some of our classes. I sent a 3-page memo out to our partners and staff and our instructors, just kind of explaining some kind of what our school's been doing. And I want to share a couple of those things with you here. I am coming to you from my house. I've been going to the office sporadically. Our team is still working between their home and the office, but we're all taking appropriate measures to make sure that we are practicing social distancing and ensuring that we don't, either for asymptomatic, we don't pass it on to older family members, and that we take our health extremely seriously. But if you're concerned about your stock portfolio, real estate investments, your own health, of course, there are some reasonable choices that I think we can all make to make sure that we're kind of doing the right thing, not only for ourselves, but also for our community. It's important to understand the illness and some of the quarantine measures that are currently underway to prepare for what's to come. As it relates to your mental health, if you are easily susceptible to stress, I would highly recommend that you kind of limit your social media intake and make sure that whatever news you are taking in is coming from reputable sources. This strain of the coronavirus was previously unknown in the human population until late 2019. Now, you might see some stuff online about people holding up cans of Lysol saying that, Lysol kills the coronavirus, but this particular strand of the coronavirus was unknown until late last year, at least to the general population. Well, the thing that I think scares most people about this is that the mortality rate for this seems to be dramatically higher than the traditional influenza case. Some estimates have this at greater than 1%. Some of it have the mortality rate at 3%, and that dramatically rises depending on your age and your health level. It's important to remember that you can protect yourself against COVID-19 by doing a lot of the things that we should be doing anyway. You've probably heard people say wash your hands regularly, make sure you're keeping your environment clean, disinfect and wipe down surfaces with regularity. The economy has taken a pretty dramatic hit. We know that there's been a lot of events that have been canceled. Local businesses have stopped spending. Even my dry cleaner today called me and said, hey, you have a load here at the dry cleaner. You might want to pick it up because if this continues for the next couple weeks, I'm going to have to close at least temporarily, which is a frightening prospect because it's not just dry cleaners, it's restaurants, barbershops, all sorts of things that are pretty resilient to economic downturn. But it seems like there's almost no industry that's immune based on what's happening. Now, as it relates to our school, we've made the necessary but difficult decision to pause our classroom courses for at least, our memo was at least for this week, but it'll probably be extended for a couple of weeks. Now, we don't want you to feel like you're missing out on anything. So it'll most likely be me, but either me or a lot of our other very talented instructors will be essentially doing classes live on YouTube. So we have an Instagram page called ADHI Videos. You'll see the Instagram page below. If you're one of our optional classroom students, would recommend following ADHI Videos on Instagram, and we will approve the request. About 10 minutes before class time, we'll send a BCC'd email to that list with a new link for classes that day. So you'll be on a live stream on YouTube, and you'll be able to watch the classes live and interact and ask questions for that couple of hour block, just so you don't feel left behind. So make sure that you follow ADHI Videos. We'll approve the request once we confirm that you're a classroom style student, and we'll get you the link every day before class starts. My suspicion is that a lot of you guys are also hunkered down at home, so I know if you're like me, you want to feel productive. I would highly recommend that you follow that Instagram page, and we'll make sure we get you that link 10 minutes before class starts on every session. Now, what effect is the coronavirus going to have on the real estate market? Well, like a lot of other markets, whether it's the stock market or certain commodities, real estate is no different. We're probably going to experience a downturn. The difference, of course, is that the real estate market, of course, is a much slower moving market. So you have longer marketing times, you have longer escrow periods. So it's not as liquid as the stock market that literally gives you feedback on a minute-by-minute basis as to how that market's doing. But We do expect sales to potentially slow down. Of course, those prognostications are not often useful because if you suspect that the market's going to slow down, but then you have very low interest rates, but then, of course, that's the Fed funds rate, which is not directly tied to the mortgage market because mortgages are more closely tied to the 10-year T-bill. I mean, who knows? That's anybody's guess, but it's hard to imagine 6, 10, 12% increases in prices given what the effect this might have on unemployment, given what effect this has already had on the stock market and to American and worldwide wealth. So I don't know what effect it's going to have on the market, but what I do know is, as an intermediary, as real estate agents are, whether the market's going up, down, or sideways, we're just in the middle of that market. We don't directly, if prices take a hit of $50,000, okay, our commissions are $2,000 or $3,000 less, but that's not as extreme of a hit as it is to the seller of that particular property. So is the real estate market going to slow? It's likely, but how soon and how deep and how precipitous the slow will be, that's really anybody's guess. But for our part, we do not want to leave you guys in the cold. Don't forget we have a lot of video content on our YouTube channel. We also are going to be doing real estate classes Monday through Thursday night and Tuesday morning and Saturday morning, just as we normally would. Now, last weekend we tested out a streaming crash course, and that seemed to work decently. We're going to revisit that because the Department of Real Estate has paused all real estate exams. So we're not sure how many folks are going to be wanting to schedule these crash courses, but please send me a message and let me know what I can do to help you. My team is not going anywhere. We're here to support you. This is our 17th year as a real estate school. So we've weathered the Great Recession of 2008 through 2011. And one thing we know is if we keep providing high quality content to our students with the best material available, we're going to make sure that we continue to win. But my commitment to you remains unwavered. My team's commitment to you remains unwavered. So if we can be of service in the small, narrow construct of real estate education, please let me know how I can be helpful. And we'll talk to you guys real soon. Thank you so much and stay well. Please heed the advice of the CDC, and we will hopefully see you back in class sooner than you might otherwise expect. Talk to you guys soon.